Here's another case of something you may not be aware of. Eastern Washington has several earthquake faults that have ruptured and will rupture again. In fact, one of the largest recorded quakes in Washington's written history occurred December 14th, 1872, around Lake Chelan. Additionally, a 5.8 earthquake struck on July 15, 1936, along the state line boundaries of Oregon and Washington. And if we turn on historical data for Eastern Washington, there's quite a few earthquakes out there. So what's the dealio regarding the Olympic-Wallowa Linement, or OWL? Well, today we're talking about the curious case of the Wallula fault zone and the Hite fault zone. We'll start with the Hite fault zone because it's a little bit more curious than the other one. Using this geologic map, we can very clearly see the Yakima Fault thrusts up here, the Wallula fault right here, and down below me here, the Hite fault zone. And it's curious because the Hite fault zone does not match the direction of OWL at all. I mean, OWL here, Hite right here, it's at dang near a 90-degree angle. It's going completely the opposite direction of OWL, just like the Blue Mountains. That's a spoiler for next video. So here's the thing. We are getting really close to the original margin of North America. Don't think I've used the exact word yet, but we're talking the North American craton. A craton is just a really, really old piece of a continent that's been around for quite some time. And the North American craton is roughly around the border of Idaho. Hite is just right at this exact location where it is thought that it is the manifestation of where that boundary is, where you cross in from the new stuff, the exotic terrains, the Cascades, so on and so forth, to the old stuff to the east. Wallula, on the other hand, runs, as you saw, parallel with OWL. Even more curious, though, is that both of these are strike-slip faults. The Hite fault zone is a right lateral fault, meaning that if you're standing on one side of it, everything you'd see is moving to the right. The Wallula fault zone, though, is a left lateral fault, so everything you see on the other side of the fault is moving to the left. That motion may seem a little confusing, so let's draw a quick map. One location, we'll keep it simple, the Tri-Cities. When we just look at the Wallula fault by itself, Tri-Cities is technically moving to the southeast. But throw in Hite, and the Tri-Cities is moving to the southwest. So this is creating a really interesting pinch point where these two faults are coming together and there's nowhere else to move. And given this 90-degree split between them, they're creating very weak rock in the area. What was that thing that was able to form because of weak rock? Oh yeah, last topic's video, the Wallula Gap. So now we're getting to the stage where things are getting juicy because it's gonna start getting really messy. Before I go, and on a more serious note, people of Southeast Washington and Northeast Oregon, do be advised that there are faults out there that can have big earthquakes. So please, do some research into how to prepare for these events, because they may not happen in your lifetime, but if they do, it's always best to be ready. So I already spoiled the next part, but we're crossing the border into Oregon and heading into the Blue Mountains, which is going to be a whole mess of chaos, but is our next video in the OWL series. I wonder what that is.